Hello, this is LT Kenbo, and this is my 75-gallon Reef tank build update. It's been about a month since exactly a month since I uploaded my last video, and I've done quite a bit to my tank since then. Just didn't think to update my videos before, so I apologize. Since then, I've added sand and several inhabitants to my tank. I'll start off with the sand. I got the Carib Seafloor special grade reef sand. Seems to be pretty popular. It's not super fine, but it's not too big either. So I like it so far. I like the look of it too. I got, like I said, for livestock, I've recently gotten hermit crabs, snails, and clownfish. So go ahead and show you that. My tank is, like I said in the last, it's cycled. I've done the water change. I've got 10 of these little hermit crabs. I got five turbo snails and an astrea snail, and then I got 2 clownfish. And they're pretty happy, and they seem to like each other. They follow each other around. They sleep together. I haven't seen them doing the twitching thing, so I don't know if they're really bonded truly yet, but hopefully they will. So they're quite happy. The tank's pretty healthy. I've got, I had all this kind of dead coralline growth from when it had been out. These rocks had been stored in darkness for a while, but you can see I got some regular purple coming back. Little patches of it there within that darker red stuff. And you can see some on the right encrusting there. And then there's some green too. So I've had a little bit of, maybe it looks like hair algae, but it hasn't been much. And it was a normal bloom. I saw the diatoms come, and so it's expected. But even with the few snails I've had, they haven't been cleaning like crazy, but they've done pretty well. But I mean, it's actually the algae has stayed in check. So I think it's going. The tank is pretty healthy. Hopefully going to get some corals soon. That's one thing I was waiting for. There was something on this rock that looked like Aptasia, and I really wasn't sure what it was. I'd said in posts before, I'd posted some pictures on the internet, and some people still weren't sure by the picture. It was like a crevice. So I just took some super glue and epoxy putty and just covered it. So if I see another one, I'll know, I guess. Anyways, everything's going really well. Like you can see, the clownfish are quite happy. They're actually pretty sure they're hungry right now. It's usually their feeding time right now. So I will go ahead and now show you underneath the tank the updates. Okay, so we got my protein skimmer. It's working pretty well. The skimate's a little lighter than I've seen in when I've had previous tanks, but I don't have a lot of fish right now. I thought it might be the flow rate, and I could play around with that because I made this back adjustment valve. I just need to put a hose here to basically pump water back into the sump. We'll see though. I just cleaned it yesterday, and it's already skimmed out a bunch of that gunk, and you can see the foam. It's making a lot more. But this thing is dead silent, really. I won't unplug this because it's going to make bubbles everywhere in the tank if I do. But you can barely hear this thing hissing. It's quite, I had an old Core Life protein skimmer for my tank a couple years ago, and it was always like, you could hear that whistling noise from this thing. No, this thing is like, if I had the doors closed and I had all the pumps, every other pump turned off, you wouldn't be able to hear it. So it's great. I was considering for a while the Reef octopus skimmers, but the one I was looking at, I was going to get an oversized one, but it would have given me barely any clearance in here, which would have meant that I wouldn't have enough to really adjust the height of the skimmer like I've done here. I've raised it up. So I'm happy with this one. It's got this, this sissy Italian pump. So, I mean, it's also, the skimmer's made in China too, but I really like it. So over in the return section, I've got you can see right there I've got a float switch. I made that little acrylic bracket back when I had my tank at 55 gallon a couple of years ago, and it's just about the right height for this, where I put my mark already, so it's working pretty well. Now when I used it before, I was actually using the switch to switch 120 volts to my pump, which isn't really the best idea because, you know, the pump uses a good bit of current and those wires are really small, and if it ever something broke, a wire broke for some reason, it could be bad. So I will show you what I've done now. I need a case for this little board, but I'm an electrical engineer and my company designs a lot of different OEM electronics, and we have a couple of our own products though, and this is one of them. We sell to a lot of customers that make things like ice machines and stuff. It's used for you know, a lot of level detection type things, float switches, just like I'm using, but I'm using it for an aquarium. I was telling my boss about my little project I want to do, my auto top-off system, you know, do a relay board or something, you know, to use a relay to switch the high voltage, be more safe, use the low voltage through the low voltage on the low voltage signal on the float switch. And he was telling me about this. You know, they designed this about 10 years ago. It uses a patented technology called D-Tread. You can look it up if you want to read more about it. Anyways, it's a great little board, and we just had several of these lying around, and they let me take one home, and I just need to get a little enclosure for it. Right now, it's just blinking because it's waiting, and you'll hear it. I'll hear it click on every once in a while. I just installed it last night, but it's just driving a little pump, a little power head in here that I have hooked up to a tube, and I've had it running all day today, and that level is the same. So it's great. It's going to keep things a lot more stable. It's a little more safer the way it's switching a very low voltage signal on that float switch there. So working quite well. Temp is pretty stable. It rises every once in a while, but stays within 80 to 81 degrees. Yep. So that's pretty much it. I plan to get maybe some coral soon, maybe not our fish this weekend. Thinking maybe a Royal Grandma Basslet. I used to have one of those, and I think they're pretty cool. So I will try to post some more videos as I make some significant updates to my tank. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any comments, suggestions, criticism, whatever you want. Be appreciated. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time.